Hi everyone, let's start with a new chapter, which is the Forester Lifelines. It is the most amazing chapter of all times. Why? Because it's a super generalized chapter, it's super easy to learn, and you can score so much from this particular chapter. It's going to be like fun. Okay, I'm not even kidding, fun. So let's begin with the new chapter. So the chapter that we are having is the Forest our Lifeline. In this particular chapter, overall we'll be covering about how many different type of forests are there, what are the different type of stratifications of the forest. Okay, you'll come to know whatever these terminologies are if you don't know already. So we'll be covering all of them later on into the upcoming sessions that I have with you. I'm in the recordings, obviously, right? Apart from that, it's super important to understand that how the human being is being associated with the forest, or how we are intermingling with the forest, exchanging the different products, or whatever is happening around the world. Okay, but before that, here in this recording we'll be learning about what is a forest, varieties of forest, terminologies, and the shapes of the crowns. Okay, terminologies, if you do not find it, just basically is because I have covered all of these accordingly in the different subtopics. So don't you worry about that. Okay, we'll be covering each and every single thing. Moving with what is the forest? What exactly is a forest, you ask? Well, forests are the dominant type of ecosystems of Earth. Okay, when I say dominant terrestrial ecosystem, I mean they are present on the land. Okay, they are the dominant terrestrial ecosystems of the Earth. Okay. And obviously, they're distributed around the globe, which is like no surprise. You're going to find forests every single where except the desert, right? Apart from that, we have a major forest present in the Brazil, Canada, China, Russian Federation, and United States of America, etc., etc. And large parts of the forest is found in the tropical domain. Tropical domain is basically near the equator. Near equator. Okay. Now, that being said, we're going to be moving forward to the next thing, which is the type of forest. Like, listen, type of forest is extremely important for you to learn. Okay. And it is super easy. I promise you that much. It's like super, super easy. Okay. So, moving with the type of forest, see, we basically have different type of forest. Majorly, there are three. There is tropical, temperate, and boreal forest. Boreal forests are also called as the taiga forests. I'm going to write that down here for you so that you do not get confused. So there are like three major types of the forest, all right, and we have the tropical ones, and we have the temperate ones, and we have the taiga, also called as the boreal forest. Okay, don't you get confused about all of these? You guys have been learning this starting your fourth standard. Okay, so these are like super easy. These are the main forests which are present there. Okay, see, when we are talking about the tropical forests, I'm going to tell you all the characteristics that are there, and I'm hoping that you have a pen and paper in your hand, or at least a notebook. Okay, it's going to help if you note down everything. So tropical rainforests, they grow around the equator, okay, of South America, Africa, and Southeast Asia. And they have the highest diversities of species. Okay, like they have the highest number of organisms. They have the highest number of type of organisms which are present in a forest. There are like millions and millions of species around it. Okay, apart from that, they cover only a small part of Earth, like literally a very small part of Earth. Okay, now that being said, it's very important for you to understand the temperature in the tropical forest is very, very stable around the year. Why stable? Because it is usually around 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius. Okay, and since it's a tropical forest, obviously it's going to rain a lot. Okay, so most of the tropical forests, they receive a lot of rain around the year, approximately 200 centimeters per year. Okay, and they generally do not have a dry season per se. Okay, and they have a very high temperature, they have abundant rainfall. Okay, and this leads to the very good growth of plants, so it's very important. And many of the animals which are living in these forests, they're adapted to the different life in the trees. Monkeys, snakes, frogs, lizards, small mammals which are found in the forest, they're adapted to the life on the trees, so as for the easy survival, because the forests are like super dense. Okay, apart from that, there are different subcategories of the tropical rainforest. We have the evergreen, seasonal, dry, montane, tropical, subtropical, coniferous, and the subtropical ones. More or less all of these, they have almost the similar things. Okay, but the only difference is a little precipitation of a little rain, a more rain year round, no dry season, and all of that. So I'm just gonna have to have subcategories subcategories of tropical rainforests. I hope you did listen to whatever I was saying very carefully. It's very important for you to understand how or where the tropical forests are, what kind of temperature there is, how much rainfall there is. Okay. And now I'm going to give you the key points of the different subcategories. You see, we have the subcategories as the evergreen forest. Okay, first is the evergreen forest. There is year round raining, no dry season. Then we have the seasonal one. Seasonal will have, it'll have a short dry season, it'll have more of a rainy season. At least it'll have a fluctuation, or let's say a turn wise seasons, which go ahead and promote the growth of different type of plants. Okay, then we have the dry, which will have, let's say, long dry season, where the trees, they do go through the autumn season as well, they lose their trees, and later on they have more trees into this, like more leaves into the spring season. Okay, then we have the montane forest. Montane forests are like the kind of forest with a lot of mist or the fog. Okay, these are also called as the cloud forest. They are mainly found in the hilly areas where the conifer trees are found, the canopical trees are found. And then we have the tropical and the subtropical coniferous according to the places where they are present. Okay, they could be present in the warm climate, tropical and subtropical. They have the conifer trees, the Christmas tree kind of trees. Okay, they have the conifer trees which are adapted to a little variable temperature. Okay, like there could be a lot of sunlight as well, there could be a lot of rain as well. That being said, we have the subtropical region, where north or south of the tropical forest, these are resist to the summer drought. Resist to the summer drought means even if there's a dry season, they're gonna pull through. Okay, now, these are the different sub categories of the tropical rainforests, which you needed to learn. And then we have the temperate forests. Now, temperate forests are the one which basically occur next to the latitude ring. You do realize there are like longitudes and latitudes. I hope you have taken your social studies classes well and studied your geography well. Okay, so let's come back to the temperate forests. They are found in the North America, Northeastern Asia, and Europe, mostly Europe. Okay, so there are like very well defined seasons in the temperate forest. There is going to be a dry season, there's going to be a rainy season, there's going to be an autumn season, there's going to be a winter season. Okay, so in general, the temperature is going to range from like minus 30 to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, and they receive about 75 to 150 centimeters of rainfall per year. Okay, now see, they also face the leaf shedding, the deciduous thingy. Okay, the temperate forest also face the leaf shedding, and trees make up a large proportion of the tree composition. The deciduous trees which are there, which also are called as the tree shedding trees, sorry, leaf shedding trees, they form a large proportion of the type of trees which are found in the temperate forests. Okay, and then they have the pines, they have the firs, and different. Apart from that, they can have maple, oak, beech, elm, willow, and hickory trees. Okay, and different type of animals such as the squirrels, rabbits, birds, deers, wolves, foxes are found. Okay, which are adapted to obviously both the cold and the warm summers. Okay, cold winters and warm summers, since temperate forests have well defined seasons. All right, now see, very important thing is the temperate forest, they have very very large trees. They have like super large trees. Why? Because of the moist climate into the growing season. Okay, they have a very long growing season. That means they have a lot of rainfall. Okay, which kind of leads to the most moist environment. Okay, apart from that, the very large trees which could be found, they could be, redwood trees or cedar trees or pine trees, etc., etc. One of those Jurassic looking like forests, you can imagine well now. Okay, next thing is the subcategories. Now if we talk about the subcategories of the temperate forests, there are four. So I'm going to be talking about that right now. Right, so we're going to be talking about the subcategories or the subgroups of temperate forests. Temperate forests. Now, as I told you, the subcategories of the temperate forests are basically four. We have the moist conifers, which basically are mostly evergreen. We have the dry conifers, we have the Mediterraneans, and we have the temperate broad-leaved forest. We'll have the plants which have the broad leaf for the sake of having as much sunlight as they can. Okay, so the moist conifer or the evergreen broad-leaved forest, they have mild winters and dry summers. Dry conifers will obviously have very little rainfall and a lot of either a lot of winter or a lot of summer. Then Mediterranean temperate forests are the ones which are like they found in the coast. Let's say like Hawaii. Okay, Hawaii has the forests which come under the Mediterranean temperate forest. And then we have the temperate broad-leaved rainforest, which will have mild winters or frost winters or a lot of rainfall basically, right? Now we're gonna have the last type of forest, which are also called as the boreal or the taiga forest. These boreal or the taiga forests are the one which, let's say, are present in the subarctic zone. Okay, that means they're like super super cold. Let's say Canada, Alaska, Siberia, Scandinavia. This is where they're found, and most of the trees which are found are the coniferous trees and the which are like evergreen kind of thingies. So the taiga or the boreal forest, they have a short, mild summer, but they have cold, long, dry winters. Okay, and temperatures can go from minus 40 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, and obviously the rainfall is very, very, in the form of snow. So it's like super cold, and it's let's say snowfall is 40 to 100 centimeters per year. Okay, that means it deposits 40 to 100 centimeters onto the ground. This is how we go with 40 to 100 centimeters per year, like in a single year. The amount of snow which is either 40 centimeters or 100 centimeters in like layers onto the ground. That is how we measure this. Also, the ground has a very very thin layer of nutrient soil, or the humus, which is like the top layer of the soil. It is very badly nourished because there's like no rainfall, no dry season, so decomposing of the things is like a super difficult task. And the animals which are found in these kind of forests could be bear or deer, wolverines. There could be bats, there could be birds, wolf obviously, right? And like apart from that, let's say forests are like the carbon sink of the entire planet. Okay, they take up all the carbon dioxide and they help in generating a cleaner environment. Next thing is the varieties of the plants. Now varieties of the plants, we basically will be talking about the different physical sizes. Herbs are there, shrubs are there, climbers are there, creepers are there. Okay, so we're going to do one thing. We're going to watch a super cool video about it, and then we're going to go to the next topic. All right, then let's get going with the video. And there we go.
Bongo is confused. Can you help him to identify the plant types?
So, like, treat Bongo as your friend and help in identifying the different kind of plants. And, along the way, we'll learn how many different type of plants are there.
So let's start. We see many different kinds of plant around us. They have different shapes and different sizes. Some are big and some are small. Now, types of plants. There are 5 different types of plants. Trees, shrubs, herbs, climbers, creepers.
So let's not go to the pronunciation of the guy. Okay, let's just go ahead with there are trees, there are shrubs, there are herbs, there are climbers, and there are creepers. Moving ahead.
First, we will talk about trees. Big and strong plants are called trees. They have a hard and woody stem called a trunk. They live many years. Trees like gulmohar, banyan, neem, peepal and mango have many branches. As you can see through the images, but in some cases, big trees like coconut and palm do not have branches, as you can see through the picture. Next, shrubs. Shrubs are small plants. They are smaller than trees. They have many thin and woody branches that grow close to the ground. They also live many years, like mehendi, cotton, china rose, jasmine, and rose.
You do realize like Mehendi is Hina. Okay, moving forward.
As you can see through the images. Herbs. Herbs are very small plants. They have a thin green and soft stem. They live for few months, like mustard, mint, coriander, spinach, water lily, and aloe vera are herbs. Mustard, mint, aloe vera, spinach. Most
That's like the spinach. Okay.
of the herbs are used as a medicine. Climbers have weak stem. They cannot stand straight. They need support to grow straight. Pea plant, money plant.
I'm pretty sure, when you were kids, you must have thought about, oh, there's a money plant. Maybe I can have my pocket money from the money plant. If not, maybe I was the only person who thought so. But yeah, there you go.
Creepers. Creepers grow along the ground. They cannot stand straight because they have very weak stems. Like pumpkin, watermelon, and cucumbers are creepers. Pumpkin, cucumbers. I hope
I really, really hope you guys, learned a lot with this. And it's a very simple and let's say cumulative video, which is going to help you. It has all the important key points. All my focus has been always on the key points. Okay, now moving forward. And here we go to the next topic, which is the shapes of the crowns. You should know what is a crown. Now, we're not talking about the crown, but we're talking about the crown of the trees, okay? So, crown of the plant basically is the totality of individual plants above ground parts. That means all the stem, leaves, flowers, fruits, pollen grains, pollen tubes, all the different kinds of things which are present above the ground. All right, above the ground is what we're talking about. Now, see, there are different type of crowns. Obviously, there's pyramidal crown, which is present in the conifers. Then there's full crown, which is mostly present into let's say trees like neems and stuff. There's vase, and there's fountain, which is present in the palm trees. Then there's spreading, which I think I have seen in different kind of trees, such as the garden trees. Okay, then there's layered, which is found in the bougainvillea. Then there's columnar. There's weeping. Weeping is the most interesting one. Okay, see. Apart from the crowns that you have to learn, you don't have to cram them as such, but what you need to learn from the crowns is the canopy. canopy is the one important thing that you need to learn. Okay, so when we are talking about the canopy is let's say the uppermost level of a forest. Okay, when these trees are present not alone in the forest, but multiple trees are present there. So you see, when there's a bunch of trees present, there's like huge population of the trees into a forest, they're obviously going to have a canopy, which is like the upper layer of the forest crowns. Okay, upper layer of the forest crowns. So all the crown of the trees, or all the branched part of the stems and leaves, which are called as the crown, above the main trunk of the tree, that is above the main trunk. Okay, so they are made up of all different shapes and sizes and stuff. So a canopy layer is formed, and that canopy layer, which is like present all above, it is responsible for blocking most of the sunlight which could reach onto the ground. And so the plants which are just growing onto the ground, the seedlings which are just trying to grow, they're gonna not be that much strong, they're gonna be weak, because they won't be getting as much sunlight for the sake of growing and stuff. Okay, and also that acts as a windbreaker. So you see, whenever you're present, whenever, if you're standing outside trees, outside a population of trees, or outside a forest, you're gonna feel the cold breeze. But if you like go into the forest, all of that wind, all of that air will be blocked because of the canopy, because of the different layer of the branches and the leaves and everything which is present. Okay, and canopy is like the super dense layer, like super dense layer, which is important for you to understand. And then apart from the canopy, we have the understory. So you see, canopy is like the above the ground level. Okay, and then we have the understory, which is present below the canopy. Now, what exactly is understory? Understory, let's say, it's a layer which lies just below the canopy, and above the forest floor. So it's like somewhere in between where the tree trunks are present. So most of the birds and snakes and lizards and jaguars, let's say, or leopards, they are present in the understory. So when I was saying that canopy is super dense, understory is a little bit thinner, because the number of leaves are less onto the understory. Okay, and there's like about 5% of sunlight which is shining through. So I'm going to do one thing, I'm going to show you the diagram, or let's say a structure of the canopy and understory in a forest, which an image basically. It's going to help you in understanding a lot of things about the forest. Plus, it's always good to see pictures, right? And apart from the understory and the canopy, we also have the emergent layer. Emergent layer is like the topmost layer of the rainforest, where tallest of the plants, such as the redwood tree, oak tree, are present. Okay, so I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, so what you see right here is, see, there's the emergent, which is the topmost, where the like highest of the plants, redwood tree, oak tree, sequoia tree, eucalyptus, etc., etc. And then there's the canopy, which is like the densest layer. Then there's this understory, which is also called as the shrub layer, and then we have the forest floor. Okay. That being said, today's topics are finished, and now we're gonna start with the questions. So, which one of the following is an animal product? Is it gum? Is it ketchup? Is it honey? Is it rubber? You're absolutely correct. It is honey, right? And now the next question. Oopsies. Yeah. So the roof of the forest is made by the branches of the trees called canopy, crown, understories, or none of these? Remember when I told you canopy is the super dense thingy, and it is formed by the crown, and understory is present beneath the canopy. And yes, you're absolutely correct. It's the canopy. So yay, okay. Now one more. Understories are formed due to different type of crowns, different sizes of crowns, different heights of trees, or all of these. And yes, it's all of these. Now, see, that is all for today. I loved here to be with you people, and I'm going to be coming back with next session, and we'll be moving forward with the completion of the chapter. So that's it for today. Stay safe, learn a lot, and I'm going to see you in the next session. Bye bye.